Hello everyone and welcome back to another lesson in Photoshop. Now today we will be talking about two different things, which are brush and pattern. Let's get started with the brush tool. First of all, brush tool's shortcut is B. Okay, whenever we press B, it will select the brush tool. Okay, two main things you need to know about the brush tool: that you can change the size and change the hardness of it. Now let's try this out on a new layer or a new sheet. Okay, that's great. Control 0, amazing. Now the brush tool, as you can see, it's just a normal painting tool. Okay, now as you can see, this line is thin and I need to change the size of it. I need to make it bolder. Okay, now how can I do that? How can I do that? All you have to do is to hold the Alt key and press the right click on your mouse, then either move to the left or right. Now let's do this. Hold the Alt key, hold the right click, move left and it's going to be bigger, go back to the right and it will get smaller. Okay guys, now hold the Alt, right click, and you'll see that it's changing the size. As you can see, that's our first issue. Now the second one is I need to change the hardness of it. Okay, how can we change the hardness? The same step but moving upwards and downwards. Okay, now let's go there and try this out. I'm going to hold the Alt key, right click and go upwards. As you can see that the hardness of this line is really different from this one. Okay, this one's hardness is 100% and this one is 0%. Now there's a big difference between them. That's everything about the hardness. Okay, as you can see guys, this is the 100% and this one here is the 0% of hardness. And that's all the main things you need to know about the brush tool. Now let's get into some quick tips. Okay, just let me erase these. Okay, great. Now as you can see that I'm normally painting, but I really want to get some straight lines. Okay, vertically or horizontally. Now how can we do this? All you need to do is to press and hold the left click. Okay, hold the shift before you move, then move either to the left or to the right. As you can see that my pointer is way far from my line and still drawing a straight line. Okay, so that's the issue. Hold your mouse, then hold shift and move either up and down or left to right. Now one thing you need to know about this method, which is whenever you choose direction, it locks that direction. Okay, like I can go upwards and downwards, it only goes left and right. Okay, same thing when I start horizontally or vertically, sorry, it doesn't go to the horizontal. Okay, that's all for this thing. Another additional thing, which is as follows: I have like a couple of points and I need to I need to line or connect these points with some straight lines. Okay, like not like that, I need them straight. How can I do this? Now as you can see, the first point I can click once on it. Now I will move to the other one. Before you click here, make sure that you hold the shift then click. Okay, you'll see that it connects the 2 points that you have clicked. Okay, don't forget to hold the shift. I will keep holding my shift, then move to the other point, click, and so on. That's it. Okay, whenever you leave your shift and redraw a normal paint, hold the shift again, click whenever you want. It's going to connect the very last point of the paint you made to the new one. Okay, and that's every single main thing about brush tool. Now let's know some information about the brush tool, or let's get into some settings. Now if you go there to the left up corner, you will see that this icon over here, which belongs to the brush. Now I really need to work on the next one beside. If you open this window, you will notice that a few settings come up. Okay, now how can I change them, or what do they do? To bring this window into my workspace, all you need to do is to right click inside your workspace. You'll notice that it appears whenever you right click on your workspace. How can I close it or exit? You have to press once outside your workspace. Okay, now right click inside the workspace and this window will pop up. Now let's explain couple of things. As you can see, there are two sliders. The first one is size, the second one is hardness, and we already know the shortcuts for these two. Now the new thing here is this icon. This icon controls, for example, the direction of this this brush. Okay, let me scale it. As you can see that it changes the direction. Now let me change it this way. Okay guys, that's it for the direction. These 2 points changes the scale of this brush. Now let's move. Here are my brushes history, and down below you will notice that there are too many files over here. Those are my brushes files. Okay, in default you will find maybe like 3 to 4 brushes, depends on your Photoshop version. The rest of the files I have already imported them from my library. Okay guys, I will leave you the link in the description, or you can join our Telegram channel to download them for free. Now let me explain this for you guys. If I opened up some folder, for example, you'll notice that there are a couple of brushes you can use, like for example this one, or maybe let's choose another one. Yeah, like brush points, as you can see. Okay, that's great. Now these brushes are there in default. Now how can I import my own brushes? All you have to do is to go to the right corner over here and click on this icon and choose import to brushes. Okay, whenever you press on import to brushes, you will go to your library file. Okay, go down to your brush file and choose any file you want. Like for example, I'm going to choose the trees one. Okay, and load. Great. Now you'll notice that your file won't appear on the top of this list. You have to go down to the bottom of this list and you'll notice that here is my file. Okay, you can choose any single brush and use it easily. Okay, that's great. Now to know about this list, or what you need to know about it is, if you right click on any folder, you can rename this group or delete it, or maybe create a new one. Okay, in my case I want to really delete this group. Okay, the second thing you need to know is this list is just like the layer panel. Okay, you can really move your brushes into another folders. Like for example, we're going to move this one here. I'm going to click on it, drag it into the other folder. Okay, and the same way I can bring it back. you can make a new folder. Like as you can see, this straight blue line over here is going to be alone. It doesn't belong into, or it doesn't belong to any group of the ones above or beneath. Now I'm going to make a new group, name it to group 1, and doesn't matter. I'm going to drag this into it, and I have a new group with a new name. Now let me delete this one. Yes, then close these two groups. Okay guys, one last thing you need to know is this slider over here. If you slide it to the right, it's going to make the icons looks bigger, in case you are not comfortable with the small ones. Now the second thing is, from this icon over here, you can see that there are 3 settings here: brush name, brush stroke, and the brush tip. You need only to keep the brush tip activated. I don't really need the brush stroke. Okay, it's meaningless, so I'm going to turn it off, and that's it for the brush for today. Now let's go to the advanced settings of the brush tool. Okay, what do I mean with that? If I pressed F5, it's going to switch the advanced settings. Let's go there and press the F5 key. Okay guys, and this window will pop up right here. Now as you can see that this list or this menu is quite different from the last one here. Okay, now here are my brushes. They are all ungrouped, as you can see, and I'm going to choose some tree, for example. Okay, this one is quite cool. Great. Now as you can see here, the size, and we have also flip X and the flip Y. Let's try them out. As you can see, I can really control my brush this way, for example. Okay, so no need to flip it using the Ctrl T or something. Now I can also change the angle. I can insert the value I want, like for example 30 degrees. I'm going to keep it 0. Now one thing you need to understand about brush, which is the brush tool, whenever you use it and you see a line, this is not a straight line, this is not a connected line. Okay, they are just a few tips that are so close to each other. Okay, now if you notice here that there is a spacing slider, whenever I change the value, you'll notice that these brush tips are going to go farther from each other. Okay, now the line is getting different, it's changing. So in this way I can make a pointed line in Photoshop. Okay, that's it. Now this is all for the brush tip shape. I'm going to activate or check the transfer setting. Okay, let me bring the spacing back this way. Now the transfer, what does it do? The first one is the opacity jitter. This slider, whenever you change it, like for example 100%, you'll notice that this line, each brush tip has its own opacity. Okay, that's why it's called opacity jitter. I'm going to bring this back. I don't really need to use it. The thing that I need to focus on is the control. Okay, I'm going to open up this window, then choose fade. Okay, I will be choosing fade for now. Now let's see what it does. Now when I start drawing and dragging, you notice that my line has faded this way. Okay, so this is the function of fade setting. Now what if I need to make it fade, like, or make this this line longer than this one in addition to this fade thing? all you need to do is, you see this value, just increase it, like for example 50. Okay, and there you go, that's it. One thing you need to bear in mind is those settings, they still activated until you turn them off. Okay, until you deactivate these settings. So whenever you face some problems with your brush, just to check the F5 settings. Okay guys, now let's move into another different thing that for example, I need to make or to create a signature on my Photoshop. Okay, and use it different times. Like for example, I'm going to make this signature over here, and this one I have been working hard to get to this result. I'm not going to do it every single time. Okay guys, so I have to save it, and I'm not going to save it as a picture this time. I'm going to save it as a brush in order to use it whenever I want, the scale I want, and the opacity I want. Okay, now all you have to do is two things. The first one is to open an image or to draw a paint or something. The second one, which is the important one, is to go to edit, then define a brush preset. Well, in my case, I'm going to go here, edit, then define a brush preset, and that's all. Press OK, and there you go, I have my signature all over my paint. Okay guys, that's every single thing you need to know about the brush tool, and we're done with this first part of our lesson. Let's move to the second part, which is about the pattern. Okay, now I will move into pattern over here. As you can see that it's saved. Now I'm going to turn this off. Okay, great. Now let's talk about pattern. First of all, where do I get my pattern? You get it from the adjustment layer down below. Okay, press this over here, then pick pattern, and this window will pop up in front of your face. Now whenever you pick a pattern, you can choose which pattern you want and change the angle and scale for this pattern. For example, I'm going to go there, choose pattern. Now here are my three main things. The first one is the pattern. I can open up this window and choose, for example, like trees or something, grass maybe. Okay, let's go with trees. This one is quite good. Now I can change the scale, again to decrease it or increase it, changing the angle. Okay guys, sounds good. Now whenever I change the pattern, the settings stay the same. Okay guys, so don't worry about that. I'm going to click OK, and here is my pattern. Now I can change it by double click on this one, change it whenever I want. That's why it's called adjustment layer. Okay guys, so easy, so professional and amazing. Now what if I want to create my own pattern? Okay, like for example, I'm going to make a new layer over here. Let's assume that this is a plan of my own. Okay, and this plan has a wooden floor, and I want to make a pattern on the top of this space over here. Now how can I make a wood pattern? For example, all you have to get is an image, then go to edit, define pattern. Let's go there and choose, for example, this one here. Open up this image, go to edit, define pattern. Okay guys, define pattern, hit OK, go back there. Now first of all, you need to select where you want to insert this pattern. For example, I'm going to select this using the marquee tool, then subtract this area, maybe add this area as well. Okay, great. Now go to adjustment layer and choose pattern. From here you can choose your pattern. It will appear in the bottom of your panel over here. I'm not going to change the angle, maybe I'm changing the scale a little bit, and okay, that's it. So easy, so professional. Okay guys, now this is everything you need to know about the brush and pattern. Now the next lesson will be going about using these two important tools with some plan of my own. Okay guys, see you next time. Don't forget to join the Telegram channel, and peace out.